Holy Schnikes! Not a day goes by that we don't miss the late Chris Farley. And we couldn't count how many times we've quoted Tommy Boy with David Spade, Brian Dennehy, Rob Lowe, Bo Derek, Dan Akroyd, and of course, Herbie Hancock. Today, I'm going to show you 12 interesting facts about Tommy Boy. Before the start of the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content, subscribe to channel. Let's get started. 12. The working titles were awful. Imagine if Tommy Boy had been called Billy the Third, a Midwestern. Thankfully, Saturday Night Live boss Lorne Michaels had Billy Madison happening around the same time, so that title was scrapped. Other near misses included Fat Chance and XL. In a 2015 interview with Consequence of Sound, director Peter Sagal said the only scene to survive from the Billy the Third script was the part where Farley changes in an airplane bathroom. Sagal had worked with Farley on an HBO special and an episode of The Jackie Thomas Show where Chris played Tom Arnold's brother. 11. The real-life friendship. The chemistry between the two stars of Tommy Boy was real. As fellow Saturday Night Live cast member Mike Myers recounted in the I Am Chris Farley documentary, Chris Farley and David Spade were a fantastic combination of ultimately innocent and ultimately jaded. They are the oil and vinegar of comedy. Tommy Boy is anchored by the duo's real-life friendship and dynamic. There wasn't much of a script when they started shooting. SNL writers Jim Downey, no relation to MovieWeb's Ryan J. Downey, though I'm a huge fan, and Fred Rock worked hard with Sagal, though the script was credited to Third Rock from the Sun and That 70s Show creators Bonnie and Terry Turner. Writing continued every night during the frantic and sometimes chaotic production. 10. Holy Schnikes!
Holy Schnikes!
In the commentary track recorded for the DVD, the movie director says Holy Schnikes was one of Farley's real-life sayings. There was almost no improv in Tommy Boy, but there were several moments that came from real conversations Sagal overheard between his two stars. Now, classic moments like this one. Hey, does this suit make me look fat? No, your face does. Farley's burning car sales pitch and the Carpenters sing-along, among others. Those also came from the actors. 9. Fat guy in a little coat.
And a little coat. That guy in a little coat.
This was another one of those real things. It was something Farley actually did often around the SNL offices, to the chagrin of Spade, Adam Sandler, and Chris Rock. He never used to sing it, though. The song happened because Farley got bored as they did multiple takes. An editor noticed it and showed it to the director during production. Farley wasn't on camera, unfortunately, but they had reshoots to do it anyway, so they ended up adding it. Sagal gives all the credit to that editor, Billy Kerr. 8. That's gonna leave a mark. Like many great bands, Chris Farley wore his influences on his sleeves, which is one of the things so lovable about him. There's one scene on the cutting room floor because one of his expressions was too much like John Belushi in Animal House. That's gonna leave a mark is one of the lines most associated with Tommy Boy. But after the movie was finished filming, Farley confessed to the director that he'd borrowed it from John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But who could be mad at Farley? Imitation, after all, is the greatest form of flattery. 7. Chris and David fought over Rob Lowe. In his memoir, David Spade spoke about how Farley would often become infatuated with cool bad boy actors. He befriended Christian Slater, who played one of the kids during a classic Matt Foley sketch, and started slicking his hair back the day after Slater hosted SNL. Rob Lowe wasn't credited in the movie, which made his villain's surprise introduction even more badass. During the making of Tommy Boy, Farley got jealous when Spade hung out with Rob Lowe a couple of times without him. This led to an angry outburst that became physical, with Chris even stepping on David's hand. The two loved each other like brothers, which means they fought like them too. 6. Car mishaps. As a new season of SNL loomed and the movie had only 60 pages to work with, Sagal called up Fred Wolf to spitball some ideas. They shared stories about some personal mishaps, many of which made it into the movie. Hyperextending the car door at a gas station? That was Sagal. The hood flying up because of an empty oil can? Wolf. Sitting in a sailboat on a date with people heckling from the shore? Seagal. 5. The damn deer. Without a doubt, the deer scene was the most difficult one to shoot. As it turns out, deer wranglers can't train deer to do very much. The production had 4 Plymouth GTXs and had to donate one to the deer farm to get the only shot with a real deer. Cameras and lights were hidden in the bushes. Every day for a month, a ramp was placed at the back of the far end of the car so deer could hang out and get comfortable. They surprised the deer with the lights one night, just as the deer was about to poop, which is how they got that classic shot. The rest of the deer scenes were a combination of an animatronic deer and a grip wearing deer skin and antlers. 4. Farley made the movie sober. Like his hero, the late John Belushi, Chris Farley's appetite for excess is the stuff of legend. He was sadly taken from us when he was just 33 years old, a result of his over-the-top substance-fueled lifestyle. Seagal said Tom and Roseanne actually drove Chris to rehab after his bit on The Jackie Thomas Show. Though he fell off the wagon after Tommy Boy, he was sober during shooting. It's especially impressive considering the rigorous schedule demands placed on him and Spade, who flew back and forth from Toronto to New York for SNL. Farley drank a ton of coffee. 3. The 51st Dates Easter egg. Chris Farley and David Spade were of course very close with Adam Sandler. Farley made Sandler laugh so much as the bus driver in Billy Madison, the movie's editor had to cut around him. There's a sweet Tommy Boy reference in 51st Dates, when Drew Barrymore's character's doctor, played by Dan Akroyd, says the Brain Institute is funded by T.B. Callahan of Sandusky, Ohio. Seagal also directed 51st Dates. 2. Chris Farley was notorious for downing large amounts of cappuccino on set. It's no secret that Chris Farley had issues with a multitude of substances, but one of the late comedian's vices that is somehow surprising and not surprising at the same time is his addiction to coffee and cappuccinos. While filming Tommy Boy, Farley was known to take down dozens of cups of Joe every day on set, as members of the cast and crew shared in the making of documentary that accompanied the DVD release. Throughout the section on Farley's love of cappuccino, co-star David Spade had this to say about the first day of shooting. On the first day, I knew we were in trouble because he was so amped up to do a good job, he had 27 cups of cappuccino. But Spade wasn't alone, as Bo Derek remembered watching in amazement as Farley prepared for one of the scenes they shared together, remembering, right before each scene, Chris would down 3 of these hot cappuccinos, and you could see his blood pressure and everything start to go, and he would be ready and have a little energy for the scene. 1. Chris Farley and David Spade would often act like an unhappy married couple on set. For most of Tommy Boy, Chris Farley and David Spade's characters have a contentious relationship and don't really become the best of friends until the final act. Well, that was sometimes the case for the 2 actors on the set of the movie, as their pair would often act more like an old married couple who would go hours without speaking to one another or have passive-aggressive episodes for the rest of the cast and crew to witness. During the making-of documentary, Bo Derek remembered how the Farley and Spade would act during one of the episodes, stating, "They wouldn't talk to each other, they would just ignore each other, and then talk to each other through the director." Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications to see more of our future videos. With that said, keep enjoying our videos, and I'll see you in the next video.